Hello, it's me, the local virtual baker, Saltea Kichee. Hi, hello. Uh, okay, it's definitely Tuesday, right? It's definitely Tuesday? No, it actually is Tuesday. Damn it, I'm trying to, okay. Okay, it's definitely Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah. Hi, it's Monday. Weird time travel, timey-wimey shenanigans have happened. I forgot something. Okay, I forgot. It's October. Oh, okay. Alright, Douglas. I'll see you in a month or so. Okay. Woo. Okay. Wow. Alright. Hi. Hi. I'm here. Whoa. It's me, the local virtual baker, Saltea Kichee. But I'm now, yeah. Wow, what an old model this is. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, it's Halloween time, baby. Wow. Uh, I forgot, it's Halloween. Well, not Halloween, it's October. So, you know what that means. I gotta get out the tradition, you know? It's for my own culture in this sense. Yes, the Kitsune me, Salty Kichee Baker guy, who kills people with celiacs because they need to get blessed with bread. Even if it would kill them, they still need the leisure. They need to feel the pleasure of eating bread. So yes, I actually don't know what this talk. Oh, okay, my I got ponytail. I forgot about that. Okay, do I have an extra apron? No, I don't. Hmm. Did you oversleep? Um, I don't know. I've been sleeping for around 11 months, you know? It's only once a month I come out, and I come out during the October times. I'm not sure if I did oversleep at all. I think it's an adequate amount of sleep for me. 11 hours is a a good amount of time to sleep. Uh, I'm the only salty that knows how to make pumpkin stuff anyways. Pumpkin, you might want to look away for now. But, yeah, we're about to do some stuff and things today. You see, I know you probably know that there are a lot of salties out there. There's like winter salty, salty prime, and then there's like current salty. But you see, I'm the only salty that knows how to do pumpkin stuff. Any other salty that comes around on the stream has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to pumpkin. I'm the only one that knows anything about pumpkin. So, yes. Hi there. Hi there, Mr. Juwan. I've heard things about you. I've heard many things about you, so I'm not sure if I have seen you. I can't remember. It's been so long. Sleeping for 11 months makes your memory go bleh. So, yeah. Anyways, wow, what are we doing tonight? Tonight, you may or not know, we're making pumpkin stuff. So I'm making pumpkin pie. I also plan on making pumpkin coffee cake as well, because I like myself a good coffee cake, and it's one of the very few ways I can actually eat pumpkin. It's really funny, it's really silly, but, what is it? Okay, hold on, wait, I lost my train of thought. Pumpkin? I don't like pumpkin pie specifically. I think pumpkin pie is a little bit too pungent. The pumpkin spice is too strong. And also, I don't know why, but I really dislike custard pies. So, um, despite that, I've been told that I make really good pumpkin pies. It's kind of funny. I make really good pumpkin pies, but I hate pumpkin pie. So, I don't know what that means, but we're gonna just go on today. I'm gonna show you my recipe again to make pumpkin pie. Because the thing is that when it comes to making pumpkin pie, I don't have a recipe. What I actually do is follow the cans recipe. Because the can's recipe to make a good pumpkin pie, it works. It's good. If you don't know, like, the whole lot about that stuff, like the recipes on, like, cookies or containers and stuff like that, is that they actually get real chefs to do that sort of stuff. So I like to put my trust in them and go like, okay, they know what they're doing. So, you know, that's how I kind of figure that all out. So, enough yapping, enough talking. Let us go over to the kitchen, yes? Alright. Okay, hold on, I gotta just move some stuff around as usual. Oh. Okay. Here we go. There you go. We should be on board for now. I'm gonna now. We're about to bake. Of course, I gotta make sure I'm properly. Although you probably can't actually see it. Press. Alright, okay. So, as I mentioned, we already talked about this much baking, but I am also going to be making a pumpkin cake. Now, the funny thing is, it's really fun because the moment I said pumpkin cake and I was writing down recipes, all the things I forgot to write down, I forgot to write down the recipe for this pumpkin coffee cake. I'm smart when I want to be. Give me a sec. I gotta write it down. Writing it down. Pumpkin. Cake. Values. Cake. A key, a teaspoon of soda, tea of powder, salt, 1 was a little bit cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves. Cloves. It's ginger. And half a cup of brown sugar, oil, 1 cup of baking oil, and without any milk. Or all right. Okay, I finally wrote down the things. Okay, we are ready. We're ready to bake. Ready. Okay, let's see here. So, I'm ready to bake. I'm ready to do stuff. I'm ready to do the things. How much cups are in here? 15 ounces is about a pint. So I gotta use half a can. Alright. So, first things first, let's make some. Let's first try to actually make some pie crust. Of course, the first thing I want to make a pumpkin pie, you need a crust. I mean, yeah, you could make a pumpkin custard, I guess, but not really a pumpkin pie now, is it? But it's like saying, oh yeah, I want to have some ice cream, but then you forgot the ice cream cone. Like, yeah, you can have ice cream without the cone, you can have it in a bowl or whatnot, but ice cream cones are just a lot more different, better even. So I have myself here a Vermont Creamery cultured butter that is unsalted. I use a ratio I always use the same ratio when I make pie crust. So the recipe isn't really too different. And from what I know, it's a very, very standard recipe. I believe I probably talked about this kind of dough, pie dough several times at this point, but it's called 3-2-1 dough. It's mostly referring to the ratio that you follow. So it's like 3 cups. So like it's 3 parts flour, 2 parts fat, and then 1 part water. But that water part gets kind of like messed around a bit. So we're gonna go with parts here. So that's 2 parts. So that's gonna be like 4 tablespoons, which is around, I think, 2 ounces. So that means I want to put at least 4 ounces. You know what? I'll just do the whole stick. So there we go. We got 4 ounces. So now I want to get around 8 ounces of flour. Or if you are maybe perhaps like me and you're a little lazy, also a cup. Unfortunately for myself, I'm actually not lazy, and I'm actually going to be measuring this correctly. So, 8 ounces. Should make an adequate enough amount of pie dough, so... But I definitely want to make sure I save enough pie dough, because it's easy to freeze. Because eventually during Thanksgiving, when that time comes around, I got to, I gotta make pie for, family. It's just that it's October, so it's my tradition, it's my tradition to start making pies, especially during October. I don't know why it is October, to be honest, because I would, come to think of it, it probably would be better if I did this stuff like in November. Because you don't really eat pies. You don't really eat much of any pies in October, really. To be honest, there's really not much happening in October. Too. I mean, the only thing in October is like Halloween, I guess. But like, there is no actual holiday during this time. I love using a food processor to make pie dough because it gets all the butter like really nice and fine. Like you can see in the mix I've made, it's clumpy, and that's good because that's the butter. And the more, I guess, clumpy, the more crumbs of butter you get, the more flaky the dough can get as well. I'm gonna add a little water here, and I'm gonna blitz it a few more times. So I want to be careful. I don't have too much water. There we go. With that sound, and by touching it, it looks like I added just enough. don't want to overmix it. Thing about like pie crust and stuff like that is like you don't want to overwork it because you'll make it too bready. The key to making a good pie dough, try to not work it as much, because it gets nice crispy. Flaky is used, not crispy. I mean, I guess it's really interchangeable if you really think about it. Crispy, crunchy, crusty, all that stuff's kind of interchangeable with each other. I'm not sure. Alright. This is good. Good pie dough. It's soft, but kind of able to still keep its shape. But I want it to be a little bit more firm. The firmer it is, the easier it is to work with. So I'm throwing it in this container, and then I'm going to actually throw it into the freezer. Once it gets really nice and cold and chilled in the freezer, it'll be much easier to roll out to actually work with. So that's the plan. Gotta now clean my thing though. Right. Do any of you guys like to actually eat anything pumpkin related at all? I'm not really too much of a fan of it. I know I just talked about what I do prefer eating as pumpkin related, but I don't usually go out my way to make pumpkin stuff at all, really. For me, getting like pumpkin flavored treats, it's kind of like how there's like white spice, not white spice. Oh, whoa. How there's pumpkin spice, how that's a seasonal thing. Like I think that pumpkin spice stuff is kind of like an all year thing, all honesty. Like if you really like pumpkin spice stuff, like pumpkin spice lattes and stuff like that, I believe you can get that stuff year round. It's just that when it's like this time of the year, people go crazy because it's like, oh, it's the thing. It's coming out only this time of the year, along with like Count Chocula, like that cereal thing, and other sort of things. Really, like Boo Berry, yeah, Boo Berry as well. The not seasonal, but no, it is seasonal. The seasonal cereals that come out. You got your seasonal cereals, you got your seasonal drinks and this and that, so you got all that whatnot to think and worry about, so blah. But anyways, all that aside, I'm going to start making the pie filling. Because of course. My trusty little can opener. So I'm going to use this, and I've already mentioned this, but I very much like to use not mine, but when it comes to like pie recipes and stuff, I like using the recipes on the cans. I know this is a very generic brand. I think this is like almost a store brand. Libby's brand of pumpkin puree. But I don't know who the heck kind of chefs they have at Libby, but they have some pretty good pumpkin puree. I mean pumpkin pie filling, I guess. Make this treat very much, very often during this time of the year. So very often when I do make this stuff and such, I'm very much told of like very good results, saying like, oh man, this tastes great, and oh, it's the best pumpkin pie I've ever had, and oh, it's the best pumpkin pie would ever have. You know, I get the whole 9 yards thing, like, oh, it's great and all this and that, which is good because I don't really know a good pumpkin pie if it hit me on the back of the head, you know. For me, pumpkin pie, I don't really like. I do like my fruit pies, like the apple pies and blueberry pie. Blueberry pie is my favorite. But I don't really like pie. I'm pumpkin pie. It's just too much, too strong. All this sort of stuff. Okay. Let's see. So, I don't remember which one I follow. The new fashion or the famous? Alright. I guess I'm just gonna go for the famous one. So I need a 1.5 cup milk. I was about to say water, but that's the penis. Oh yes, to this pie. Let me add milk. Yeah. Alright, so I'll shut up. 1 can or 12-ounce. Oh. The old metals. So I need 1.5 cups. I hate that I love pies. Why do you hate that you love pies? You eat pies a lot? Are you a little pie boy? You like eating lots and lots of pies? Is that what kind of a person you are? Do you just eat pies like an absolute maniac? You weirdo? You're just a huge big old pie guy? Is that what you are? Or, not gonna lie, I'm not really too huge into pies. There are times where I'll choose pies over cakes, but like, I personally think cakes are better. More often than not, I usually will opt out for cakes more than pies. So, but at that same regard, I don't even like pie. I don't even like cake. Well, it's not that I don't like cake. It's just that I have a preference. I mean, I just don't really like cake, really. The truth comes out. I don't like cake. I don't like fun, actually. Hi, Bush. Oh my god, it's just a mod chat today, huh? Mods in chat. Go away, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, I need 3/4 cups of sugar. So that's 1/2 cup plus 1/4 cup, or 4 1/4 cups. That's how math works. Yeah, we got someone on Twitch side. Oh yeah, you're right. Hi there. The YouTube is entirely not. Okay. So, half a teaspoon. You know, it is kind of interesting to think, because half a teaspoon really isn't much. When you think about relative and salt and stuff like that, like, this is not that much salt. That's really not much salt in the grand scheme of it all. It is quite funny to think. I don't know. Cinnamon, ginger, clove. Cinnamon. Where's my cinnamon? I gotta buy some more cinnamon. I'm actually getting quite low on it. Cinnamon, sugar, ginger, clove, allspice, clove, ginger. Alright. Smell it. So I need a teaspoon of cinnamon. Alright. There we go. Teaspoon of cinnamon. Half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of cloves. It's weird. Of all the things to put into, you know, a pumpkin pie spice, it is quite odd that you put ginger powder involved, though. Like, it doesn't make sense in my head just because ginger, you know? Ginger powder. And also cloves, that's also a weird thing, but it makes enough sense, I guess. Oh, okay, I almost added double of what I needed for the cloves. I actually only need a 4th teaspoon, not half a teaspoon. Ew. 2 large eggs, and that should be the custard. Cool. Okay. This is where I'm actually going to go off the walls, if you will, because I'm actually going to do a bit more, a few more, because I plan on using this other can of pumpkin puree, pumpkin puree. Just because this is a 15-ounce can. I only am going to need half of this, which is about 8 ounces, which is about a cup. So I'm actually going to make sure it's here. Interesting. Dash. I don't know what a dash is, but I believe that's an 1/8 of a teaspoon. Then I need to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of ginger. And then I need to add a 1/2 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna sneeze. It's so spicy. Jeez, sorry. Sorry. Oh. Alright. Gonna add a bit of sugar. That should be good. I need to add, I think, a 4. Because I need to add half now at this point. So, half of is 3/4 of a cup. So, there you go. 3/4 of a cup. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of math right now. If you don't like math, stop listening right now. Just close your ears for a moment here. Salt. Okay, so I added the milk, the sugar, the spices. I just have to add the pumpkin. Alright. So let me just realistically measure out my cup of pumpkin puree I need. I never really asked, but I am quite curious now. How do you guys actually feel about numbers? I know you guys really don't like, what is it? I know you guys really hate the numbers, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna this up here. Whoa! A lot heavier than I thought it'd be. There we go. Pumpkin puree, and then I put the other half in here. Yay! You always want to really be careful with these lids. I say as I be not careful with the lids. Just because they are surprisingly sharp. I remember I was making a thing with like pumpkin or whatnot. Not pumpkin. I think I was cooking with some tomato, and it was like I was messing with the can top because I was being stupid, and I ended up cutting myself. It's not fun, let me tell you. Getting cut yourself cut on a can, not very fun. Wait, I finally get the joke. It's your bush. I'm real smart. Huh? I don't get it. I don't get the joke here. I'm not the funny man. I don't understand the joke here. Lads, let me in on the joke. I wanna laugh too. Unless you don't want me to smile and be happy, which, you know, that's also completely valid. I don't like smiling anyways. It's weird. I'm your bush. Because, why you sound so British? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Bush, are you actually British? Oh my god, I can't believe it. He lied to us. He lied to me. He's British? You know what's funny about how loud this is? Because this is very loud. But it's funny because I am doing this on the lowest setting. What? That's here. Nyet. What? No? Nyet? I mean, okay, you're saying yet now, but you first responded with no. So, like, it seems like you're almost trying to do a cover-up here. Bush, are you actually British? And you're just trying to gaslight everyone thinking that you're actually Russian? Is that what your whole cover-up is? Are you a British spy for the Russians? His mixer is an elephant. You know, that's funny. It could be, but would you ever find out? Would you ever truly know? Right. Nine. Nine. Damn. I can't believe it. He's a Russian spy. For the Germans. Alright. There we go. No, but Sandish. Neo. No, Salty's just a little slow. Only reads mods, hashtag biased. Yeah, I'm quite biased. What you gonna do? Huh? What if I am biased? There's not much you can do other than sit there and cry. Cry about it. Whine. Whimper. Whine. Whimper, whine, cry, because that's all you can do. Bruh, lol. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta change my shirt. I actually got a bit of pumpkin on me. Pumpkin pie. You're so right, I guess. Yeah, pumpkin pies. I'm actually gonna do the pumpkin crumb cake too right now, just for interesting, because I actually had to buy maple syrup for this one. It's kind of funny. In my entire 2 years living where I live, I've never bought a single thing of maple syrup in my life. Well, living here. technically my life as well, because I've never actually bought a real thing of maple syrup. Like, this thing is real pretty. Real tasty, too. But I never actually ever tried, maple syrup, like real maple syrup. So, it's kind of cool. I need even... I need milk. Where's the milk? Okay, I gotta make sure I check on this, because it's a half or a fourth. Okay. Fourth of a cup of milk. Yep. Syrup, oil. I got oil, I think. Yeah, I got myself some nice brand oil, so that's gonna be nice. I actually need to replace my bottle of oil right here, so this is just like very nice timing here. Alright. There we go. It's not fair when people make food for, what, 1 or 2 hours just to be eaten under 12 minutes. That's why you gotta make food really quickly, which is what I usually tend to do. I make food fairly quick. Also, that's usually more or less very prominent with baking, more or less. Now, don't be fooled. We are baking today. But I am actually going to be making some food as well. I have some chicken adobo on the side here that I'm going to make. So, I just had the necessary means to make something. So, I decided to go out of my way and make chicken adobo. Make sure I got enough brown sugar though. There you go. That's good. Just the process of cooking is enjoyable as well as eating. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the fun, the beauty of cooking is not just being able to devour your food, but also just going through the process of making the food too. I think it's fun. It adds a nice little bit of fun as you're trying to do everything else. You know, like, hey, I'm making this now, and this is gonna be. It's just a nice little. It's like building Legos. You know, when you build Legos, you kind of just mix it all. You kind of just put them together, and then you put it somewhere else, and then you don't ever unbreak. You don't ever break it or anything. You just kind of have it sit there for a while. You know. So think of cooking as making Legos, I guess. You're building up small things to make something really nice and big. The only difference between this versus Legos is that this is tastier. Granted, you could eat Legos, but I don't think you want to eat Legos. So, I mean, I won't stop you. I mean, I will, because you shouldn't eat Legos. But I know there are some people out there that do eat Legos. I mean, there's pretty much anyone that will eat anything, you know, if you really think about it. Just because, you know, there's crazy people that eat couches, there's probably people that eat like car, those things of my strange addictions and whatnot. There has to be some really crazy people eating some real crazy things out there, you know? And if not, they're open about it, they're maybe being illegal, I guess? I don't know what I'm talking about. Insert Lego build sound effects. I don't know how to do these sound effects. Baking soda is 1 teaspoon. Baking powder is half a teaspoon. Salt. Okay, now I gotta get the spice. I'm not sure if it was also just me, but whenever I do follow recipes like salt, I like to add like a small pinch extra, just because in my head it's just like I know it's probably gonna be fine if you use the recommended amount, but there's something in my head that always tells me add more salt, add more salt. You know this is gonna need more. Add more salt. I don't really add much salt, but still. It cloves and nutmeg again. I have nutmeg, actually. Nutmeg is... cloves is a 1/4 teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon. Feel good be YouTube right now. You either die a hero or live along to see yourself becoming the villain, or just the villain, kill the hero, but still be the villain. Why are you talking like Fillion? Like, why are you talking like if you're like Fillion or something like that? It's kind of funny, actually. Like, POV, this is this. It's very reminiscent of, like, how Fillion talks during her streams. Kind of funny, actually. Real comedy gold right there. Okay. This stuff together. Wet, got my dried. Gonna mix this all together to make some nice little crumb cake now. Ah, look at that nice, lovely looking puree mix. So shiny. Right. Bush had a stroke while reading that and died. Me too. I just said that to get that out of my system before I continue saying it randomly. Bruh, maybe I should have added one of these. I don't know what one of those are, but sure. Looks like you go into one of your buds saying like, "Hey, here, I got some caramel for you. Would you like to try it?" But then they end up tasting like this weird maple syrup, oil, pumpkin concoction. Ugh. Okay, weird intrusive thought. But I'm wondering, could you make mayo with this? You have pretty much all the ingredients to make a mayonnaise right here. I'm not sure why you would want to eat this as a mayonnaise, like a pumpkin mayo sounds very odd. But theoretically, you can do it. Just because you theoretically could do it, though, doesn't mean you should. But it's funny. It'd be really funny. This looks good, though. I love myself a good coffee cake. It's a nice little thing to have in the morning. It's like... It's kind of funny that it's called coffee cake, because there is no coffee in sight. But I believe the intention of it is that you're supposed to eat it with coffee. So that's like the intended thing of what you're supposed to do with coffee cake. I even think at that if you were to have it with coffee and whatnot, I think it's probably better just to have it by itself, or maybe with even a sweeter drink like orange juice or something. It doesn't seem like a very coffee-esque thing to have, though. At that same time, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know even what I'm talking about even. I love how easy it is to make pumpkin pie look delicious. Yeah, it is quite simple. Do you prefer pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice? You just basically asked me, do I like lemon? So that question that he asked, if I like pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice, that's kind of funny, because you're basically asking, like, oh, do you like water or seltzer water? Like, they're both the same thing, but they're not. But, I think I'd rather have pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice isn't really too horrible. I can deal with it. Not that. But I just really don't like pumpkin pie, just because of the texture. Which is weird, because I love custard. I love creme brulee. I love this and that and that and this. But when it comes to, like, pumpkin pie specifically, it's just really unbearable. I really don't like it, and I don't know why. If you stopped talking when I coughed, thought you heard me. Maybe. If so, excuse me. Yeah, sure. I definitely heard you. Bless you. I'm still pissed that there is no pie-based restaurants. Just a place that sells you all types of pies. We have burger, peas, sandwich, and drinks. Now we need a pie to complement the food saga. But what about cake? Myself don't really like cake. However, when you talk about this and that, you gotta bring cake to the table too. Maybe not actually like bringing actual cake to the table, but you get the analogy, bringing it to the table. Cake too. Okay, cool. You know, okay, so I gotta bring up this question because it is kind of a big question in my head. But let's say you're buying a cake, you're getting a cake for someone, yeah? Like it's someone's birthday, and you want to go celebrate with them with the cake. Now, would you rather buy the cake, or would you rather make yourself a cake? This is a very important question. Because I feel like there's many different answers for this. Like, I feel like some people are gonna probably be more of a, oh, I'm gonna just buy a cake, but I myself am more in the idea of just going to go make the cake. I don't know, buying a cake kind of seems too... Sorry, I'm greasing this pan. There's a very specific way you should grease cake pans. You're supposed to use oil or more traditionally. And then you dust your cake pan with flour. So then you get a looking thing like this. And your cake won't stick to the pan. And I do like to add a little side of precaution here, to where I like to add a bit of parchment paper as well. But doing something like this is a bit unnecessary, but I digress. Alright. In goes the cake mix. No, you suck. Hold on, I'll read some messages in a sec. I'm trying to pour this cake in. Those would both be a bakery. Cake and pies? I mean, I guess it depends on the place you go, though, because not all bakeries will give you cake, and not all bakeries will give you pie. Not all bakeries will even have either of those. But, you know. It all depends on where you go. You know, I've been thinking about it just because, like, I'm a paranoid freak. And I think about myself way too much that I feel like a narcissist. But, hold on, wait, I'm losing my train of thought here. Wait, I'm losing my train of thought. What was I talking about? What was I gonna talk about? Narcissism. Talking about myself. I forgot. Well, you know what they say, if you forget what you're talking about, it probably wasn't that important to begin with. So, don't know what I was going to talk about, but on the whole, it wasn't really that important to begin with. Now, with a coffee cake, you often would have a streusel topping with it. The issue with that, because I would love to add a streusel topping, is that I don't have enough butter. So, you know what? Hold on, let me see if I have butter. If I do, then I'll make a streusel topping on top of it. Four tablespoons. Okay, wait, I can make this. Because it's funny, because I actually have exactly the amount of butter I need. Talk about salty. No, you can't make me. I don't like talking about myself. Despite how I love talking about myself. You can't make me. You can't force me to talk about myself. What are you gonna do? Huh? Make me speak about myself? Talk about my feelings even? Ugh, disgusting. On my YouTube and Twitch.tv stream. Okay. Half a cup of flour, half a cup of brown sugar. Google.com, that's what I was talking about. What is something that mixes well with pumpkin pie? Ice cream, whipped cream, cream, turkey, stuffing. I mean, there's a lot of things, you know? It just depends on what you want, you know? And it also depends on the occasion of what you're doing the pumpkin pie for. It's all a matter of circumstance. And now I need a 2.5 of cinnamon. I'm actually just gonna eyeball it because I'm lazy. Cinnamon. Google.com, what was I talking about? I actually don't want to say that too loud because Google will hear me in the background. Be funny. I don't want it to hear me. How dare it intrude on my conversations with my online community. What about go parasocial? They're hearing me talk about my community. Can't do that. Going parasocial, that's cringe. I can't go parasocial. Not very good at that even. What is something that, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what makes well pumpkin pie. And I assume when you say mix, I assume that you mean like pairs well with pumpkin pie. I don't know. The most perished social community. You know, I gotta go out and say, honestly, to you lads, you guys aren't nearly as parasocial as I want you to be, and I'm quite ashamed of you guys. You guys aren't very parasocial. What's wrong with you guys? Why are you guys like normal human beings? How dare you be normal? Why are you guys so normal on my YouTube and Twitch streams? The most weird that you get is when you get really annoying, but that's it. What's wrong with you lads? Why are you guys normal? I would? Alright, if you would, then do it. Right now. Be parasocial. Right now. Do it. You won't. But you message on Discord like you're having a stroke 24/7. Are you implying that I never have a stroke? Because, like, I have a stroke pretty much 24/7. I don't know what you're on about. I'm always having a stroke. But I think that's also funny, too. Who doesn't like having a stroke on stream? Ah, it's such comedy gold. So funny. Funky freshie. But do you not hear me talk on a normal daily basis? It sounds like I'm trying to read from a script from how I speak. It sounds like I'm about to have a stroke right now, even. Like, I stutter, I stammer, I don't speak straightly, clearly, normally. See, like, why am I talking like a weird little guy doing weird little things, I guess. Okay. For all that aside, all that weird talk aside, I'm gonna go back to making the pumpkin. Actually, wait. Because I forgot. Chat, I forgot. I'm making food. Oh my god, I forgot. I gotta make dinner. Oh, shoot. Alright, well, I gotta make myself yummies. I gotta make myself yummies. My foodies, yeah. I gotta make myself nutrition. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I gotta plug in my rice cooker. I gotta plug in my rice cooker. And I just need to get the rice. Rice. Okay. And of course, if I'm making rice, I gotta wash it. If anyone makes rice in chat and you don't wash your rice, you're dead to me. Always wash your rice, though I don't feel like that's the thing that needs to be said anymore. I feel like everyone washes their rice with me, like it's so. You know, I feel like it's kind of funny to say, but maybe I should get a second cam, no? Thinking about that, like, should I get another camera or just the sink? It's kind of funny, I do spend a lot of time in the sink here, especially when I'm washing stuff and washing my rice dishes too, or utensils. Yeah. Kind of funny, you know? Alright. Okay, that's washed enough. You know, the way that you talk, Mr. Low Tier, you make me think I need to go message a friend. One of the name of Nimmers. I need to ask, because, we're looking for... I'm gonna just... Oh, rice cooker's on. I need to go find another person to play a game with us. Content warning. I'm doing a content warning collab. What is it? this Thursday. So I'm trying to see if I can grab a fourth person, maybe a fifth even. But I have a fourth, so I want to see if I can actually grab some more people. So I might have to ask Mimmers. I'm not sure if she's going to stream during Thursday at all, so I gotta go ask her. We'll see. We'll find out. Okay. Anyways. Pie time. Yeah, the crust is actually nice and cooled off. Very solid. So that's good. Just going to move it around. Need to flatten it out a bit. Might have actually let it froze a little bit too much. Alright. I got my reusable pie, my single-use pie tins here. And now I'm just gonna roll this bad boy out. You know, I'm just thinking about it now, but this is kind of a shame that I never really had any fun traditions at home. Because my parents were very much of the people that were like, oh, let's just go buy this, let's go buy this, let's go buy that, you know? I don't think they really had enough time in the world to actually do stuff fresh like this and that. I know that, for example, when I grew up, very often my parents would do these like pre-made dinners and meals and stuff like that, just because they didn't really have time to do this and that. Sorry, I'm just like focusing on rolling this stuff out. It's kind of funny though, because I really don't know if my family or not is poor or not. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a very common or weird thing to talk about. Because when I grew up, when Baker Mom and Baker Dad raised me and all this and that, we were very simple and we lived in a very small and simple household, I guess. But like, I could never really tell if we were ever poor exactly, you know? I'm not sure if even poor is like a nice word to say in this regard. I don't know. The way that it felt like I was spoiled as a kid, but looking back, there are some things where it's like, yeah, no, that's not really very luxurious. But like, parents really knew how to spoil the hell out of me. Very often my parents would like go like, oh, we need to get you a new shirt, and it's like only been a week since I got a new one. It's like, I get it, like, hey, clothes are nice and all, but I don't think we really need to get it. My mother is a very obvious victim to this crime. She loves buying stuff. She just loves to buy. But that being said now, I never was, and still not really able to ever decipher was my family and I. If anything, I think we're just we're like really basic middle class stuff. We're not poor, we're not rich. We're just very middle class. Like, we're like basic. You're basic as we can get. Which isn't bad. But it's really funny because there's a lot of people and interesting people I talk to who are either really rich or really poor. There's very few people that I've ever met in my life that were in the middle, just like how I am, how my family was. And it's kind of awkward. Because it's just like, I wish to understand your struggle. Unfortunately, I don't. because I never was in a struggle. I don't know. It sucks to be basic. You don't understand. Well, I don't understand. But I want to understand because I want to have the empathy and love for you. But, like, I don't understand. I myself never was able to understand that. So. Sorry, I'm just, like, talking. I'm just, like, yapping out of my mind right now. I'm rolling out pie crust. Isn't that cool? Isn't that freaking fresh, even? Isn't that so neat and cool and awesome? Like, look at that. I just casually made a pie just right there. We're so back with making pie. One right there. Oh, yeah, forgot. It's one of my least favorite things about making pie, just because this part is very not tedious, but I'm very lazy to do. But docking your pie crust. And it's important because you need to do that so it doesn't stick. Okay, I don't know how many pies we're gonna have to be able to make today. There's only one way to find out, huh? Start by rolling them out. Oh, you know what's like a really okay? I'm just thinking of like a lot of silly things that just revolves around in the not so virtual spheres. But I know there's this okay, so there's this funny conversation I was having with coworkers and such. And randomly there was something talked about like ethnicity. I don't know how we got to this conversation, but eventually we were talking about like ethnicity and this and that, like talk about white and all this and such. Well, being very American, sorry. And that's fine actually. I don't need to say sorry about white stuff. My parents are white, it's okay. I was raised white. I was whitewashed even. I'm pretty close to it. But what is it? I remember one of my pals telling me like, oh yeah, Salty, you're like really, you're like whiter than white can be. It's like, I don't know what that means. I know where they're coming from. Man, that's crazy. I'm not white. I guess I act very white? I don't know what it means to even act white, you know? Like, I wash my rice. Okay, I guess saying something like that is very white now that I think about it, huh? Like, oh, I don't know how I'm white. Like, I eat so much ethnic food and this. Yeah, oh, jeez, yeah, that is very white, actually. I sound like a Karen. Like, oh, jeez, oh, I'm so ethnically, like, involved. Like, I know this, I know that. You don't act like until you do finger guns. Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! I love doing finger guns! No! Bush, why? That's like, oh, that's my, I love doing this. It's so goofy and silly and stupid. Why'd you have to ruin that for me? What? I love doing finger guns. They're so incredibly stupid. How dare you ruin one of my greatest joys in life? You make me sad. That's an even wider thing of doing. That's even a wider. What do you mean? The finger gun is so funny. It's goofy. It's so goofy and silly. It's stupid because it looks so wacky. It's like from a cartoon. Salty's a white boy. What do you mean? I'm not white. I'm Asian. I'm so Asian. I'm so Asian. I bleed Asia. I bleed chili oil. What do you mean? Wow. Not white. Wait. I'm interesting. I'm Asian. I'm from Korea. Yeah. Eve. Hate use. Salty's a white boy. I can't I can't believe that. That's so messed up. I hate you. I hate you so much. Career. Career. Imagine acting white. Yeah, exactly. I'm acting white because I'm not white. Does this sound like stuff a white person would say? Like career? Talking about white? And like I don't even like pumpkin spice. You are so white. How about, you know what? You're pasty even. How about that? Wow. Yeah. You're gonna call me that? I'm gonna call you pasty. How's it feel? Pasty. You're so pasty, you look like glue. Yeah. I can't. This is the worst day of my life. No, I'm Siberian. I'm technically Asian. What does that mean? I mean, yes, technically you're Asian, but I'm from Korea. I was made in Korea. I'm a Korean export. What do you mean? I'm just as Asian as you in that regard. I hate you. This is the worst stream I've ever had. This sucks. This sucks. I'm Asian. You can't take my Asian card away from me. It's just funny because like during college there was a person saying like, "Oh, you're not Asian enough. You're actually really, really not Asian. You're only Asian when you start making kimchi." And I actually made kimchi because of him. And I started really researching about how to make good kimchi because like I was like, no, wait, I need to be Asian. I need to mix with my heritage. Unironically, above that, what else? It's like, oh geez, how do I be Asian? How do I be Asian? I hate you. I hate you. Die. Die. Die 1,000 deaths. I was also born in Siberia, but I was raised by a Siberian. You suck! Hey, listen, it's not my fault that I was not raised by Asians. That's wild. Are you saying that are you saying that being raised by non-Asian people is a bad thing? Because I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I love my mother and father, so you can't not shut up. I'm Asian and I can confirm. Salty is more Asian. Yes! Yeah! Yeah! I said as an Asian, not by one. Shut up! I'm Asian. And also, Juwon says I'm Asian. So, yeah. I got my Asian card back. Screw you, you suck. Yeah. Sucker. You can't. Listen. Oh, yeah. Listen, I am very Asian. Okay, so, real talk, I know I am very Asian, just because I do very Asian things. Just like inherently so. Like, I'm very punctual. Very punctual for time and whatnot. So if that's something. My name is John Asian. Brother, I didn't even realize I was Asian until a few months ago. Hold on, I knew I was Asian for such a long time. It's kind of funny, because, like, you know how, like, I'm not sure if this is a stereotype, but how a lot of, like, adopted families will wait to tell their kids when they are adopted or whatnot. I guess my mother and father were smart, because they told me I was adopted, like, very, very young in my life. So to be fair, during that part of my life, I was actually questioning, because it's actually kind of a really fun... Okay, story time. Wholesome story time. As I put those pie crusts in the oven. it's time for a wholesome story because I like talking about this story because I think it's really cute. So, um, when I was young, I was in kindergarten, and surprisingly so, I guess I was really smart. I don't know what happened. I'm a VTuber now, so like I don't know why. Anyways, I was fairly smart for a kid, and one of the things I knew right away when I was like, younger, when I was in kindergarten, my other students say like, "Hey, is your mom and dad Asian too?" And it's like, "What's Asian?" It's kind of funny because like this whole idea of like race and stuff like that, I did not understand it. When you talked about race to me when I was like 8 or 9 or whatnot, or like when I was just not middle school, when I was in kindergarten, I did not understand the whole idea. That was just something I did not comprehend. Didn't understand it. I didn't really understand racism, which is kind of a bad thing because like then you don't know like I guess the unfortunate stigmas and stuff. And okay, main thing, I didn't understand that in this, so I would kind of look at myself in the mirror when I was young and ask my mom and dad like, hey, why don't I look like you guys? I'm like I look much more different than you guys, so why do I look so much different than you guys? And I remember my parents, they would tell me to wait in my room because I was talking to them in the room, and they would eventually pull out a whole bunch of fun little documents. They would pull out some documents and some not paper, but like travel bags by the looks of it, because they would then show me of like, okay, so Salt, this is you. This is actually who you are. You're adopted, and they had explained what adoption was to me, and it was a very beautiful thing. I don't know. It's something I don't really have a good time to explain. Well, at least a good understanding to explain how they explained it to me, just because it was so long ago. But I remember them telling me so much about, like, hey, adoption, this and that. But I remember it very, very well. This is what they would tell me. Like, we love you, your parents loved you, this and that. Really explain this here. It's really awkward. I don't know, it's very sentimental what I'm wanting to explain here, but it's like I don't know how to fully explain it, just because it is kind of a, for lack of a better word, this is a very adopted thing, you know? Like, it's awkward because your parents that you think are, that made you, also keep in mind, during this time, I had no idea how babies were made, you know? So, I think that during this time, my head is in the clouds, so I think like, oh yeah, so kids come from a bird, and the mother and dad just picks them up, and it goes like, yeah, that's our kid now. So I thought like, I legitimately thought for the longest time that like, having children is a roulette, and it just ever so happens that I just didn't look like my parents. So I would ask, so that's what I would think. It's fun. I mean, it's so cool. It's nice. I think when you're younger, it's best to know. It's best to know. You don't know what it means. Once you do know what it means, you don't really need. You don't really need time to process it. Yeah. My parents were. I think I will always think about that, of how smart my parents were, telling me that I was adopted at such a young age. Just because, like, if I found, well, not found out, but if I found out, let's just say, I was adopted right now, I think my life would be completely shattered. Everything I know, I don't know how I would comprehend it. I could give someone a weird. But like, I feel like I'm smart enough to know that, hey, at this point, if I wasn't told about this and that, I know that myself, I don't look like my mom, I don't look like my dad. So I could probably put the pieces together, but I feel like it would also be very strange, you know? Just because if you never would ask and your parents go out and just say, oh yeah, you are actually adopted, I just imagine it'd be very strange. But I'm not going to really ever be able to imagine that awkwardness because, well, I kind of knew at even a young age I was adopted. Also, I'm just saying, I know there's like a very weird, a very sad thing of like, oh, you're adopted, blah, 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 it's so bad. I'm just going to go out and say it. I think it's a great thing to be adopted. For one thing, you know that your parents wanted you at least because, like, if you get adopted, someone wants to take care of you, you know? Someone's willingly going out of their way to want to raise you, you know? And I think there's something beautiful about that. Because, unfortunately, in this world, there's not many people that are going to be like, oh yeah, my parents wanted me, or this and that. My parents got me by accident, or this and that. Case in point, my mother, my first mother, it's not that they didn't want me, it's just that they accidentally had me. So, but that's the thing about, I guess, adopted people. If you are adopted by someone, even though that your parents, your prior birth parents probably aren't able to take care of you, you know that somewhere in the world, if you're adopted, there is someone that is going to take care of you in the world. So I always had like a really positive opinion about being adopted. It's a great thing, you know? Know that your parents really, the parents that you currently have, really, really love you. And they raise you to be just like their own, even though that you aren't connected by blood. There's a beauty in it. Being raised by essentially strangers, but they love you as if they were your own, you know? I don't know why I'm getting so, like, touchy and feely all of a sudden, but that's apparently where we're going with this talk now. I think... Oh, yeah, okay. I was about to reread that. My gosh. Right. Alright. Time to get out the... Right. I'm able to stick the stuff with my bare hands. Yeah, that burns my hands, but I don't care. Alright, so I finally have done all the baking stuff. All that baking nonsense is done. You know what time it is now, right? Time for me to make my dinner. Dude, I'm gonna have a very late dinner now that I really look at it now. But it's gonna be a good dinner though. Chicken adobo? Ooh, I love chicken adobo. It's great. Actually, I'm not... Okay, so when I say chicken adobo, I'm not sure if I'm actually pronouncing it right. Because there is another chicken adobo. It's a Mexican cuisine. It's where you make like chicken with an adobo sauce and stuff like that. Like adobo chili peppers. But I'm not sure if that's also Filipino. Or if that is just, what is it? If it's just the same word in the same scenario sort of ordeal, you know? speaking about Filipinos, it's weird that I just have to word it like that. Speaking of Filipinos, anyways. Speaking about the Burma report, it's kind of funny of how many interactions I have with Filipinos. I love Filipinos. They're a great bunch of people, let me tell you. One of my greatest friends is Filipino. My Vtuber brother, Filipino. A few of my pals I like to talk to are Filipino, like Chuya, I think. I think she is. I don't know. It's Sonic, I'm not sure. But there's also some Vtuber artists that I really like that are also very Filipino. It's nothing to really note about, but it's really funny in any sense to think about of like, oh yeah, I just kind of naturally gravitate towards Filipinos, and it's really funny. And apparently, from what I've been told by a pal who actually lives in Filipino, it's quite ironic for that because apparently Koreans look down on Filipinos. I don't know why, but it's really funny because apparently Filipinos look up to Koreans. So it's like a very tsundere relationship. Now this might actually not be true. This might be completely false and some hogwash right there, but I digress. I don't really truly know. Also, I just kind of now have this weird anxious feeling in my soul. Okay, good. Now, I was wondering for a moment if YouTube chat decided to stop talking. No, it's just you guys not talk. Which, how dare you not talk on my stream? Yeah, you're not talking on my stream. How dare you lurk? What a world we live in, where people are unironically like, oh. We love the lurker. We love anyone who actually tunes into a stream. You can be a lurker, you can be not a lurker, you can just be an existent person even. Hey, as long as you're here and you're just here to vibe with me. We're just a vibing kind of place right now. We're just sitting around, around doing stuff, doing things. And I appreciate that you're here with me on this ride of making my dinner. So yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised because I did not mean to do this beautiful of a dice. It's actually more of a brunoise, honestly, which is a very fun knife cut to do. It's very hard. Doing a proper brunoise is very, very difficult because the eye get really nice and fine. But it's kind of funny because I often cut brunoise. Brunoise is a very small, fine dice. It's almost on the edge of being like a mince. But oh shoot, I just realized I'm not supposed to cook that yet. I'm not supposed to cook this yet. I actually have to sear off my chicken. But yeah, this chicken adobo is going to be really fun because, so when I break down chickens, I usually break them down thighs, quarters, breasts, and then I usually have a whole bunch of wings, which I call my frying kits. Usually in my head, when I do frying kits, I have the intention of, well, frying. So I was intending on doing a fry, like maybe some fried wings or whatnot, and make a nice barbecue sauce, not barbecue, hot, like a hot, like hot wings or something like that. But no, I ended up not doing that. Just because it's a bit of a hassle. I also didn't feel like deep frying, which was a very big thing about making good wings. Yeah, you can bake wings. You can do a good bake on wings, which is not an issue. However, I don't like baking my wings. I think it gets kind of a more... It doesn't really get as crispy and like nice and flavorful. So, you know. So it's kind of funny because I'm following a recipe with this adobo, but I'm choosing to not follow it exactly because it says for only 3 cloves of garlic. Listen, I don't care what you say. I don't know what you think. But when you see a recipe and it says 3 cloves of garlic, you instantly double it. So I went for 6 cloves. Honestly, I want to go for 9. But I think that would be... There is unfortunately such thing as a good... There is unfortunately such a thing as too much of a good thing. But... yeah. I'm also not sure if I ever gave this tip to, but to anyone who is interested in such a tip, if you ever mince garlic, make sure that you clean your knife with a cold water. Never clean your knife with hot water, because when you cut with when you mince, what is it? When you mince, the garlic juices will get on your knife, obviously, but the garlic juice is very sensitive to heat. So the moment you actually get it hot and introduce like hot water, for instance, it actually makes it very, very... It makes your knife very sticky. It makes it very hard to cut. So, a little thing to keep in mind if you're ever interested on making a good... What is it? What was I just talking about? I forgot. Oh well, probably wasn't that important if I just forgot about it. Oh yeah, garlic. If you ever cook with garlic and you want to clean your knife quick, make sure that you use cold water. Yeah, okay. What a memory. See, I can use it when I want to. It's just unfortunately I never want to use it, but I can use it. It's there. Okay. I think that's all I need for a chicken adobo. I need some water and brown sugar, and then I need peppercorns, of course, but that's really it. It's kind of funny because this thing only says to use only a tablespoon. And don't get me wrong, a tablespoon of peppercorns is quite a lot. However, I like peppercorns, so I'm going to use 2 tablespoons because I don't like reading. Or at least I choose not to read correctly. That and also the recipe says to add peppercorns later into the recipe. But once more, I'm bad at reading. I'm not doing that. I want to add the peppercorns more to the early start of it, just so it brings out the nice flavor, oil of the natural oils of peppercorns. Makes it more flavorful. You can... Okay. So, here we go. I'm gonna use some tongs here so I can minimize the amount of times I have to clean my hands. I'm glad I actually had time, the insight to actually move all the baking things. Baking things? Yeah, pie crust. It's kind of a nasty thing to have this chicken as well in pie. Like as you're eating the pumpkin pie, it's like, huh, there's like this weird like soy chickeny flavor. It's like I can't put my finger on it. Ugh. Wouldn't be the most great thing to eat, but tasty? Maybe? Not sure. Tasty for some, for maybe, but not for myself. I would say that'd be kind of nasty. But I digress. Make sure I get good color. Oh, it is getting quite late though. I actually didn't think I was going to be this late, but lo and behold, here we are. Well, here I am, at least. Did you guys eat dinner yet? Have you guys eaten anything for dinner yet? I hope you have. I know you guys eat something real nice for dinner today. I'm having myself chicken adobo. It's just that, unfortunately, I guess I'm eating it a little bit later than I'd like to. Which isn't too bad of a thing, honestly. It's gonna help me kind of, what's the word? Not stay awake, but make sure I at least get an adequate amount of sleep. Not too much, but at the same time, not too little. Alright. It's not cooked yet, but I want to start making the sauce. So I'm gonna put get all these parts out. Gonna put more color, yeah, but I think it's gonna be more important to get the sauce done. Right, that in, and I'm gonna start cooking my aromatics. That being my onions and garlic. And oh, I'm gonna add my peppercorns. Alright, well, as that cooks, I'm actually going to multitask here, because the pie crusts are all done. So now that the pie crusts are done, I'm actually going to move stuff around here. Get the chicken right here. And then my baking thing right here. Yeah, get a bigger one actually. So now, we're going to start filling this thing up here. And now, I'm actually going to start filling in the pie containers with pumpkin pie. Or at least the filling, you know? Alright, here we go. And here's a little secret about pumpkin pie, just to make sure that your pumpkin pie actually doesn't like blow up. Because that's the thing that can happen. Your pumpkin pie gets inflated. So a way to avoid that is to actually shake your tray around a bit. Just so you can get all the air bubbles out. Alright. So I'm actually not sure how long comparatively this and the other things will take. With the pumpkin pie thing. The pumpkin cake. Okay, so they should be relatively the same amount of time. So I'm actually gonna plug them in both together right now. I think I'll put this on the top rack and I'll put the cake on the top. Because don't forget, I'm also doing the cake as well. Throw that in. Wait 30 minutes for that. And yeah. I can start working with this. Alright. So I'm gonna put in my marinade now. Because to make this sauce, what you're gonna build up, you have to get back into marinade. Wow, I got here late. Hello, Salty. Ah, you're not late. You're just on time. I'm making food. The more interesting part of today's stream. Hi there, June. Hey. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this reduce down a bit. Let it reduce down. I'm also gonna add I think a tablespoon. It said something about adding some brown sugar too. I just don't know how much. 2 tablespoons, okay. So 1, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Supposedly it's gonna add sweetness and also make it a bit more syrupy as well. But yeah, I want to make sure I boil this marinade really good here. It did have chicken in it, so I want to make sure I cook out the salmonella. Very important. And since now I am cooking it out, it is a good time for me to actually reintroduce the chicken back into the sauce. It's going to add and reintroduce more flavor into the chicken itself, but also making sure that the chicken is also very cooked as well. Add some chicken droppings in here, droplets. And relatively speaking, in a certain time frame, this chicken adobo and the pumpkin stuff could be done relatively at the same time. There we go. That is all she wrote. I'm just gonna let that reduce. Gonna let that get nice and syrupy now. So I'm just gonna let that do its thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to add water. The recipe says to add water, but I think. And also, I really want to taste it so I know what it tastes like. But I know better because since there's raw chicken in there, it's not exactly the best idea. And also, I forgot. It's Asian food, so I forgot to add my secret sauce. MSG. Of course, we gotta add MSG. It's Asian food. You can really add it to anything, but it's just gonna work best in lots of Asian cuisines. Just gotta make sure I kind of flip them though, just so they get an even cook, and also they get even coverage and sauce. Delicious. The best season, MSG. MSG is just so great. We love MSG. We love MSG in this household, and if we can't get MSG, we're gonna add MSG in another way, because there are other ways to add MSG into your food, like using soy sauce, using nori or seaweeds, anchovy, and stuff like that. There's other ways to add MSG flavor, but MSG is just the easiest way. Because using MSG is a lot like salt. It's like saying, oh, you know, adding bacon to something adds saltiness, and that is true. But I just sometimes you just want salt. You don't always want bacon, as great as bacon can be. Sometimes it's just a lot better just to have bacon. I mean, just to have salt. Same thing with MSG. Like, you can add other things that make something taste good with MSG, but sometimes you just need MSG. Okay, well, now we're just kind of waiting. The pies are in the oven, the cake is in the oven, my adobo is being cooked as we speak. I want to sit down and chat for a bit, if you don't mind. Alright, I'm here. You can do the wait. Oh, I just realized, what is it? I just realized SiriBot just banned a spammer. Oh, we love SiriBot in this household. SiriBot does so much. Oh, I love it. How are you guys doing tonight? Are you guys doing well? Are you guys drinking, eating, doing all this stuff, you know? Are you, keeping yourself good, I guess? I don't know. Are you good? Are you happy? How are you? Are you feeling very fog today? Are you feeling happy? Did you get your drinks? Did you get your food and this and that? Yeah. Well, I should probably keep it. here to arguments. But watching your live stream makes me well, I'm glad that you're able to power through arguing. What are you watching? Like, I don't know, like sports, some drama online, if you will. The whole plethora of things, kind of vague, but there's no need to explain it if you don't feel like it. So. I don't want to doom scroll right now. Doom scrolling right now on Twitter is kind of tough. Should I double? I wish I could, what is it? I wish I could actually, or share some of this food with y'all. It'd be fun. It'd be really, really nice to share some food. There's a good saying that I know where it's like, food will taste better when you eat with someone else. Always a good thing. It's always a good thing, you know? No matter who, what, where you are, I think it's a lot better to eat with someone else than just eat on your own. There's a lot more, there's a better feel. When you're eating with friends, or eating with your family or whatnot, it's a lot, it feels like the meal just tastes that much better, you know? When you're eating by yourself, it's just kind of sad, for lack of a better word. You feel lonely, you know? I would know, because I've had 365, 720, 730 meals alone. Not fun. Well, actually, I can't say I've had a meal every single day of the week, every single day of the year. There are some times where I skip meals. Well, I mean, it's not even the thing of skipping meals or whatnot, because I eat a lot of food. It's just that, for instance, at my job, I actually don't really, I don't, since I work a morning shift, I don't really eat breakfast, or really eat lunch. I snack throughout the day to help me get by. Like, the closest thing to a breakfast I ever get myself is a glass of water and an apple, and that is my breakfast. It's better than nothing, but that is usually what my breakfast turns out to be. Now, when we come to lunchtime is usually the time I will skip. I will usually skip my lunches pretty more often than not. Often than not, I will skip lunchtime just because I don't have time for it, stuff like that. And I usually like to wait until dinner time to when I actually start making something fun. So, for instance, I'm making chicken adobo. That's always great. As long as you don't skip tea time. Never skip tea time. Oh, I just realized. Got to move my microphone back here. So honestly, just saying, the chicken is probably cooked at this point, and I could start eating my dinner, but I'm not sure if it is cooked yet. I'll give it like 2 more minutes because it has been cooking for at least 12 minutes. You know what? That might be good enough. Hold on. We're going back to the kitchen. I just wanted to sit down for 5 minutes. We're going back to the kitchen. Back to the kitchen. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Show me what we got. Show me what we got. Oh, it's nice and syrupy. So good start. But a good way to check if this food is cooked is by just simply shoving a stick inside the toaster. It is not cooked. This thing, not cooked. It is raw. Well, not too raw, but it's raw. Some parts of it. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna add water now. Gonna add water so it can cook better, cook longer. It's almost like I'm letting it steep. Shame, I'm really hungry right now. I'd like to eat dinner. I have been trying to actually eat all of my meals during the day. Just because to eat all of the meals in a day is just good for your body. It's good for your nutritional such as well. It's just good overall to make sure that you're eating 6 meals a day. 6 meals, oh geez. 3 meals a day, just because it helps regulate your metabolism, it helps your sleep schedule and whatnot. There's a lot of good benefits to actually eating on a schedule in that regard. It's just that I'm often so busy I forget to follow said schedule. Not all the time though. Not all the time. There are times where it's like I'm going to make sure. There are times where just I don't feel like eating lunch or I don't feel like eating breakfast and whatnot. So there's that. But usually the only meal I try to never skip is dinner. That is the only meal I would never ever think of skipping. Just because I don't have a reason, I just don't. Can confirm, due to not being able to resemble a schedule for the past months. Ugh. Yeah, it's a novel concept, a really silly one at that, but having a consistent schedule is healthy for you. Having a consistent sleep schedule is very healthy for you. It's good for your body, it's good for your metabolism and whatnot, and having a good, consistent schedule with just food is also good for you. Now, a lot of people can naturally do that, or they will naturally start feeling hungry, so they're actually going to go eat food and this and that. Fortunately, I'm not part of that lucky bunch of people to where they can autonomously do stuff like that. So I unfortunately have to follow a schedule and make a schedule and follow it, or something like that, or just not follow the schedule, period. I'm not cool enough for that, unfortunately. Or good enough is a better word, but I digress. Okay. Man, I am so hungry. I'm actually gonna get some rice. Hungry. I'm really, really hungry, lads. So I have rice over here. Just been sitting in my cookbook in there, so. But I'm just hungry. I want to eat. Help me. I need to shove something in the gob. So I'm just gonna have a bit of rice. Now, I'm not sure about you all, but I do actually enjoy myself just having just plain white rice. Wait till I say it tastes great. Ah, ha. Yeah, there's nothing better than just having some plain white rice. It's like having bread. But I actually don't have any bread right now. Well, at least bread that I want to eat like this, you know? I have some beef. I have some tallow brioche. So that's bread that I would use for like French toast or grilled cheese or something like that, you know? Not something like this. You know, I always used to wonder, just because the kind of rice I would eat, it would all just be very separated, but when you actually get good rice and cook it right, you can actually pick it up with chopsticks. See? This isn't sticky rice, by the way. This is like your very average brand of rice that I buy in bulk. It's amazing. I like to buy bags by the pound, like bulk bags of rice. I got like 10 to 5 pounds of, I believe. And often I forget of how great it is just to have a plain bowl of rice. I really need to start eating rice more often, but it's the carbs. It scares me. Oh my god, carbohydrates in my meals? I'm gonna gain so much weight if I do that. It feels like I'm at a hot pot right now. Except that I'm not really eating said hot pot. I'm just like moving stuff around, you know? Gym rat salty. Listen, I'm trying to care about my health. And I love myself carbs. I love myself bread. There's never gonna be a day I don't eat bread. But I do acknowledge when it's like, okay, body, okay, I get it. You kinda don't want to have carbs today, you know? I don't really like worrying about my body like that. Well, yeah, worrying about like the ways and things I eat, you know? But sometimes you gotta take into account, go like, okay, hold on, now I need to start caring about it more because of this and that. I'm gonna check on the pumpkin pie at this point, just because since they're smaller, it might take less time to cook. They don't need time. They're gonna need the full time, I think. There's actually a few ways to check when pumpkin pie is actually cooked. Because, yeah, you can do the stick method, putting a toothpick in the center. But the thing about that is that it doesn't take into account of overcooked pumpkin pie, because you can overcook the custard, and then it becomes curdled, and the texture isn't like nice, velvety, and smooth. To make a really good pumpkin pie, you gotta make sure it had a little bit of wobble, but the center is still wet. Just ever so slightly wet. It's hard to explain. I'll see if I can get it to that point and not overcook this pumpkin pie. But the key to making a good pumpkin pie is just cooking it correctly. Nothing is worse than having a pumpkin pie having a pumpkin pie that's kind of curdled. And when I mean by curdled, I mean that it's it has like a kind of like a souffle cooked texture, but it's not smooth and creamy as a pumpkin pie should be. And once more, I don't like pumpkin pie, but I know good texture from bad texture, and that's bad texture when it's all like curdled and like eating like a boiled scrambled egg is like ugh. Just makes me feel sad. I wonder how the cake's doing though. You know, this is okay. So speaking about cake and pie and stuff like that, it's kind of interesting to talk about this and that because the means to actually talk about cakes and pies and all that whatnot is that the interesting thing is that the toothpick method works. It is okay. But often than not, a lot of people will find themselves having their cake being overcooked and being very dry. So this is actually where you have to learn a bit of technique. And if you want to get really precise, use a thermometer. You want to look for internal temperatures for cake. I believe the temperature you look for is 210. But if you don't want to do that, when you put your toothpick in a cake, it should be mostly dry, but if you have a little bit of batter that's still sticking to the thing, perfect. Take it out and let it rest. Because when you take pies and cakes and all that stuff out of the oven, it's still technically cooking because it's really hot. So when it's really hot, it's going to continue to cook. It's going to carry overcook, and you want to make sure it's cooked all the way. So when you take it out and it's still slightly raw, when you let it sit out and rest for a bit, it's eventually going to get to that point of time to where it is actually perfectly cooked. Something that not many people take into account when it comes to cooking. You take the food out when it is perfectly cooked, but when you let it rest for a bit, it becomes overcooked, you know? Okay, I'm curious now. Is this chicken cooked yet? Oh yeah, it's cooked. Yeah, this stuff's pretty cooked. And here I was wondering why my stuff always came overcooked. Yeah, the toothpick method doesn't really tell you when it's perfectly cooked. It just tells you when your stuff is cooked. So you have to go more. If you ever find yourself to be overcooked, just go 5 minutes less than you normally would. Is my best advice. Alright. I'm gonna start making this plate look nice now. So of course, like with anything like this, I want to make sure it's a nice, good old heaping podge of rice. Rice here, and now I'm going to get my tongs and start placing them to look nice. I do want to do more tests on it because I know the drumsticks. I don't know why, but whenever I cook drumsticks, they're always hard to cook, or at least tell when they are cooked. So I'm going to put the drumstick here. This is chicken tempeh right here. This is the drumstick wing. This is another wing. Another wing. That's a weird looking chicken piece right there, but another wing. And then the great good old Mamba Jamba, the thigh. Ooh, who doesn't love a good old thigh? Chicken thighs are so great. I love myself a chicken thigh. Now I'm actually going to let this reduce really quickly, and then it's going to get nice and syrupy. But to make sure it gets really nice and syrupy, I'm going to cheat and actually use a touch of potatoes. Now you could use cornstarch. That's another thing you could use. But I find potato starch to be a lot better, a lot more simple. Now with that reduced now, it will be good. It's fun using cornstarch and potato starch or whatever you need. A little goes a long way, is what they say. That's good. So now I'm going to get a nice glob of this sauce right on top of the chicken. Ooh, that's good. Just gonna completely destroy this bowl in sauce. The more the merrier is what they say, yeah? The merrier this does look. It's like curry. There is actually one thing I want to go grab real quick, but I have to go outside for that. Alright. Yeah, this meal is almost complete. It just needs one more thing. Let me grab it outside. Yeah. Of course, the one thing most good Asian meals, you need a bit of garnish, but not just anything, not anything small, but a bit of scallion. And what's better than a nice homegrown bit of scallion? Because I grow my own scallion because I can. So I got some nice, freshly grown and picked and clean scallion right here. I'm just going to cut. Do a nice little thin slices right here. And just before I garnish it, my timer for the pie and the cake are done. So, I'm gonna move this to the side. And we're gonna check on our cakes and pies. Okay. So, this is a perfectly cooked pie. You see how it has a bit of wobble in it? Like, if you look at it, it's not completely cooked. There's still a little bit of wobble. You see it? That is perfectly cooked. And to just prove a point, I'm gonna get a cake. Or toothpick. Okay, here's my cake tester. I'm gonna poke this in the center here, and it is still very wet. But despite it being very wet, it is gonna be perfectly cooked. Custardy, smooth. So it's good that it's like that. But now the cake, woo! That cake, it rose nicely. The streusel on top is nice and cooked. And that cake is actually perfectly cooked because it just is. Okay, I'm gonna clean it again. Like, I'm gonna put it in the center here, and it's still gonna come out kind of sticky, but it's just sticky enough to where it's just wet to where it is perfectly cooked. And by the time I let it settle and rest in room temp, it will be perfectly cooked. Alright. Well, that aside, I'm gonna just go back to my meal here, my dinner. My soon-be dinner that I'm going to devour. Just chock full of scallion. No sesame seeds, just because it's not really a traditional garnish for this. But scallions are good enough. Good enough of a garnish for me. There we go. Basic logic? Yeah, pretty much. Really, if you say that, it kind of is. Alright, I want to take a picture. Pictures have been taken, and now food has been made. I'm frozen for a moment. I'm gonna just unfreeze for a second when it happens. There we go. And I'm actually gonna take everything and go back and sit down. There we go, chat. I'm gonna show some pictures. I'm gonna get some pictures and show them on screen, and then I can talk about that. I can probably. I won't speak. Okay, there we go. Sent the pictures, and now I'm going to download them from my Discord. Here we go. Here's all the pumpkin pies and such. And then here is my chicken adobo I'm going to try and taste right now as we speak. Oh no, the stove doc, shake my head. Oh no, you know the exact stove I use. Yeah. I'm sorry. There you go. Now you get to see. This is my dinner. This is the pumpkin pie and pumpkin cake. Looks really great. Alright, I'm gonna try and eat the chicken adobo raw. I'm gonna taste a little bit. You know what they say, right? In the Japanese and such. This isn't Japanese, but still. I'm gonna just be cute and say, itadakimasu. Oh yeah. I love eating peppercorns. I like to eat the peppercorns. Nice bit of spice. That nice peppercorn flavor. The sauce is nice and acidic and sweet. Oh, it is so good. The chicken is nice and juicy still. Oh, this is lovely. Yeah. Nice to really eat this kind of thing. The scallion is nice. It adds a bit of freshness, a nice bit of allium flavor. Rice just works so well with something like this too. Absorbs the sauce. Just a nice plain break from this really intense flavor of the peppercorns and the vinegar. Nice balance. Is the bottom thing pumpkin bread? It's supposed to be a pumpkin coffee cake. That is what it's supposed to be. That stuff on top is a streusel topping, but I think that I made the streusel a little bit too, how'd you say, a little bit too thin. Which is usually a big issue. I never make it right. I'm not very good at making streusels. This is a fun thing to eat too. Just because the bones, the wings, can't really eat with a fork and knife. So I'm just using my hands right now. you often eat with your hands? I know not a lot of people eat with their hands and such, or with a fork and knife thing nowadays, but like, eating with your hands just feels a lot more homely, if you will. Vulnerable, even. Okay. Well, I think we are done eating. We are done, cooking today, honestly.
That is cute. Okay.
Alright, cool. We are done today. Hold on. I think I want to end stream today, just because I want to go sit down and eat. And, make sure I can check on my cake and all that stuff, too. I think we are done for today. Let's go. We're gonna go raid. And we're also on YouTube. We are going to go raiding Juwan Sugar Blue. He's currently live, so we're gonna go raid into him. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to go eat food now. This is a fun little stream. Just to talk, cook, and bake even at the same time. This was a very fun stream. Was that Juwan I heard? Yeah, we're gonna go harass her, Juwan. So, I'm done for today. Tomorrow, tune in tomorrow on Discord. We are gonna be playing Left 4 Dead 2. And if you do not have the game, do not worry. The first 3 people, maybe? First 2 to 3 people that get into the Discord and say they want to play Left 4 Dead, I will buy the game for you if you so very wish. But thank you all for tuning in today. Sorry, all shucks. Sorry for you to come in so late, I guess. But maybe come and play games with us tomorrow. That'll be fun. So yeah. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening. I'm gonna go enjoy my meal. I will see you all around later. We'll be streaming next Thursday. This Thursday, but we'll be streaming this coming Thursday. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. And I will see you all when I see you next. Saltea Kichee, everyone. And ciao. Bye-bye.